Hi everyone, welcome to Report Flow. This is Danelle here. Today we're going to look at some orders. We're going to take these and turn them into an insightful report that your team could use in order to fulfill orders, for example, or any other things. For example, I'm using my uh, imaginary business, Danelle's Desserts, where it's a bakery and we take people's orders for banana bread and cookies and things like that. And we have a quantity that needs to be made. We have someone who's going to make it. We have a time that is specific to be made. You may have something similar to this in terms of maybe, I don't know, a pick list for the warehouse or maybe invoices to be turned into or sales orders to be turned into requests for a service that needs to be carried out in the organization before it could be invoiced, things like that, right? Mainly small businesses have a lot of these where there are a lot of documents coming in to fulfill orders, and then the order has to be fulfilled and then it has to go out to the customer. But instead of having multiple sheets, multiple PDF documents, to fulfill your orders, you can have one Excel document that takes care of all of that for you. And you could also use that data to generate reports, see which is your hottest selling items, things like that. Now, a lot of businesses have ERP systems and stuff like that, but in this instance, we're going to look at what we could do via Excel in terms of generating a report from this. All right, so let's go. So first thing we're going to do is open up Excel. We go into, let me get that here, open a blank workbook, go to data, get data from file. Here we're going to target a folder. This is so that anything going into that folder will be added to your report upcoming, right? So that you don't have to keep doing the steps over and over. So I'm going to my orders report. All right, so here I'm going to transform the data. Right, here is where we could see the two files. What I have done is I have taken the name, the sales order number for the file and named the file accordingly so that I don't have to go digging up looking for the sales order number in the file. I already have the PDF named. Now it makes it easier to process, right? Okay, so we combine the files now. Okay, so once the files are combined, you would see a bunch of tables. These tables are only piecemeal data from the PDF. But what you're looking for is a page and a page. You're looking for page one, page two, may have page three, page four, page five, etc., right? So now what we're gonna do is go to parameter because we want to capture everything here. So if it has 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages, it'll capture, right? Okay, so in order to get rid of the pesky tables and them that we don't need, we take off table here, only keep pages. Here we can expand. Don't use original column name as prefix, it just makes it untidy. Okay, so here we are in Power Query with our combined two documents that are in the folder, right? First thing we want to do is get this number out so we can identify what the sales order number is, right? Here we will split column by the limiter. First thing we want to split out is the underscore space. We're going to take out the underscore. Nice. Now all we want to take out is the dot. Dot. Okay. So we get rid of this and this. Remove, and this here is now your sales order. Right. So this is your sales order number here. This could be used as your key. We don't need this. We don't need this. We don't need this. Remove this. And what I mean by key, the key is basically what you could use to kind of compare all your sheets moving forward. And you'll understand what I mean by the end of this video. So stick around and learn something new. Right, so here we will duplicate the main. We have our main sheet. Don't interfere with the main sheet. let's just stick with this sheet. First thing we want to capture is the items that need to be created, right? So this is your ID. These are the things that need to be made. So banana bread, cookies, vanilla cakes, and they have the quantities as well. So what you could see here is that all of these items to be made are tagged to a line item number. So that's an easy way to look at it, right? So let's first thing let's we're gonna name this orders, right? So this is our orders table. We are going to change this into a number field. So if we change this to a number field, everything except the numbers will turn into an error, right? So we will remove the errors, then we will filter out the nulls. And I know what you're thinking, you could just filter out the numbers, but if you do that, any number we add, it will be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we add 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, for example, it wouldn't look for that. So we need to focus on doing a number filter instead, right? So we're looking for numbers that are less than, let's say 999, something like that. All right. So that will bring you now to only the quantities that have a item or a detail with it. All right. So we keep the sales order number, we keep the item ID, we keep the item description, and we keep the item quantity, right? That's all we need. Everything else, remove other columns, right? Cool. Let's give it some names, item ID, item description. This one is quantity. Cool, right? So we have these things here. So this is your orders, right? Orders. Make sure that changes. Here we'll duplicate again. Next thing we want to grab is our customers. Very important to have the customers, right? So the customers here are text, but what you can see is that all the customers line up with the dates. So because of the formatting of the PDF, all the customers end up lining up with dates, right? So to make it very, very, very easy, change this to a date format. Everything else that's text will turn into an error. Here you could remove the errors now and remove the nulls, and you'll end up with your dates. But not only your dates, you end up with your customer ID, your customer name, your date, your purchase order number, right? So let's do it. Okay, so we have the sales order number, we have the customer, we have the date, we have the purchase order number. The customer ID is neither here nor there. I don't really need it. If you need it, you keep it, of course. Right? So customer, then we have let's see what is this. Date, and we have the PO number, right? Cool. These are customers. Next thing, let's make a next duplicate and let's see what else we'll need here, right? So next we need the time required. So we're gonna look at let's look at the date required and the time required, right? So the date required and the time required will help us to figure out, um, help us to let our team know, hi guys, this is when we need to have this thereby. Right? So in the date required and time required, right? So if we filter out this to time, which is same line with the date, we get the errors for the text, just like before. Remove the errors, remove the nulls, and okay. And here we only have the date required and time required. All right, so we have the sales order here. We have date required, time required, and we can take out everything else, remove all the columns. So we have date and time required. All right, next thing we need to do is take a duplicate here. Okay, so the next thing we'll need to do is we want to know who is responsible for doing this, making this making these items, making the order. All right. So let's look at employee. Let's just call that employee. All right. So we're gonna look at everything here that is not null or blank. Um, that is not time completed. So everything else. Now what we need to make sure, you see, this is a problem, all right, because we don't want to have just only focus on these two people. So this now is where we need to come back to the drawing board. So here we can see is date required, time required. So what else could we link this to? What else could we link this to? We need to figure this out. All right, cool. Take all this. Let's come back to the drawing board here now. We only want, let's write that. It's okay. We only want date required. Once the line has date required, we keep that line. Then we change this to employee. Okay, may work, may not work. Let's figure it out. We're gonna troubleshoot this together. All right. Remove all the columns. There we go. Right. Okay. So now is the part where we combine everything to make into one sheet, right? So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our orders. First thing we do, actually, sorry, is remove all our duplicates. Now you see that there's two pages here, so this is duplicated. You don't want this, all right? So we remove the duplicates here, remove the duplicates here, and remove the duplicates here. We only want one sales order, all right? There we go. So now we're going to take this. Let's start with the orders folder, right? The orders will merge queries as new. We want a new query. Then we're going to take the first thing we're going to do. We have the orders. We're going to take the customer. Sorry, customers, right? We're going to see. So the key here, like I said before, is the sales order number. We have 18 out of 18 matching here. Okay, so this now we could call summary. All right, and when we expand the table, right, we'll have the customer that is ordering this, the date, and the PO number. So this is one nice spreadsheet where you could see the banana bread on the sales order 12345 is 15 requested by Rick Sanchez, PO number so by so, date so by so. Right now we merged as new, but if you want to add new ones here, just merge queries onto this existing summary query, and now we can add other things, right? So we want to see what is the date and time required. So match sales order to sales order here. We get 18 again. We expand our tables. Everything beside the sales order will be expanded. All right, boom. So we see date and time required. Let's merge again. So we did customers, date and time required. Now it's just employees. All right. We're gonna add on the employee here, one here, one here. Okay. We're gonna expand, take out the sales order, boom. There we go. All right. So this is our summary sheet. Now we don't want to close and load everything. We're gonna close and load to a connection, because then I will give you multiple tabs with all the information from all the different queries, and you don't want that. All right. So we're just gonna load as a connection only. Cool. And now from here we could load to the table, starting from A1. Okay. There you have it, right? So you have your table with all your orders consolidated, and this, remember, this came from PDF documents, right? Okay, so we'll call this orders, right? And put it on our desktop quickly and save. Desktop orders. Okay, so it's opening the orders folder. Okay, orders to complete. Orders to complete. All right, let's try that. Okay, and put that on the desktop. Save. Okay, good. So what we want to look at now, so we have these two sales orders here with all these 18 line items to be completed. Now, what if during the course of the day, four more came on board? So we just, all we need to do now is, if you notice, all of them is the same, will be the same format and everything, right? Because you're keeping your thing standardized, your business, right? Now, data, refresh. Some of these may have 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, whatever the case is. The standard remains the same, the format remains the same. We did some of the back work, the leg work. Let's see what happens here now and refresh. Let's do refresh again one more time, just for safety. Come on. All right, so you see everything is loading up here. Takes a little while, right? And there you have it. It automatically goes through all the different steps that we just went through and populates your sheet for you automatically. All right, cool. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if you want to see anything more similar to this. And yeah, thanks for watching.